Episode 3: Mastery of the Tao. After receiving his name, Wukong, the Monkey King, was filled with joy and gratitude. He bowed respectfully to his master, Patriarch Subhuti, who then instructed the other disciples to teach Sun the ways of the Tao, how to behave, how to speak, and the proper manners for interaction. Wukong diligently followed these teachings, spending his days learning from his fellow disciples, engaging in meditation, and practicing rituals like burning incense. In his spare time, he took care of the temple grounds, sweeping the floors, tending the gardens, and gathering firewood. This peaceful routine continued for 7 years. One day, Patriarch Subhuti ascended the platform to teach the great Tao. It was an extraordinary scene. Flowers seemed to rain from the sky, and golden lotuses bloomed from the earth. The Patriarch's words were profound, filled with wisdom that resounded like thunder in the heavens. As he spoke, Wukong couldn't contain his excitement. He began to dance with joy, waving his hands and stomping his feet. This caught the Patriarch's eye. "Wukong, why are you behaving like this during my lecture?" the Patriarch asked sternly. Wukong quickly apologized, explaining, "Master, your teachings are so wonderful. I couldn't help myself from expressing my joy." The Patriarch smiled and asked, "How long have you been with us?" Wukong, slightly embarrassed, replied, "I don't really know, Master. But I've gone to the mountain behind the temple to gather peaches 7 times. The Patriarch chuckled. "Ah, that mountain is called Rotten Peach Mountain. You've been here 7 years now, so tell me, what do you want to learn?" Wukong eagerly responded, "I'm willing to learn anything you teach, Master. I'm ready to absorb the Tao." The Patriarch asked, "Do you want to learn from the arts of magic and rituals?" Wukong asked what that entailed, and the Patriarch explained it was about divination and summoning spirits. Wukong quickly dismissed it, asking, "Can that make me immortal?" When the Patriarch said no, Wukong replied, "Then I won't learn it." The Patriarch then offered to teach him the arts of various philosophies and spiritual practices. But when Wukong realized these wouldn't grant him immortality either, he refused again. After several rounds of offers and rejections, the Patriarch grew frustrated. He struck Wukong 3 times on the head and walked away. The other disciples were shocked and scolded Wukong for offending the master. But Wukong, who had figured out the hidden message, just smiled to himself. Later that night, after everyone was asleep, Wukong quietly snuck out to meet the Patriarch, who had hinted for him to do so. He found the Patriarch resting, but as Wukong knelt before him, the master awoke. Seeing the eager student, the Patriarch knew Wukong had understood his secret signal. The Patriarch whispered to him, "Since you are determined to learn the true path of immortality, I will teach you the sacred techniques to transcend life and death." Overjoyed, Wukong listened intently as the Patriarch taught him the secrets of the Tao, the art of cultivating his spirit, guarding his essence, and preserving his vitality. These teachings would allow Wukong to avoid the 3 calamities that could destroy even the most enlightened beings after 500 years. Wukong trained in secret, mastering the arts taught by the Patriarch. After several years, he also learned the powerful 72 transformations that allowed him to change his shape into anything. He could become a tree, an animal, or even an insect. His abilities grew stronger day by day. One evening, the Patriarch asked him, "Wukong, have you mastered what I've taught you?" Wukong replied confidently, "Thanks to your guidance, Master, I can now fly through the clouds." The Patriarch smiled and told him to demonstrate. Wukong leaped into the air, flying up into the sky. But when he returned, the Patriarch laughed and said, "That was not flying, merely cloud hopping. True immortals can travel thousands of miles in a single leap." Wukong was curious and begged to learn the true method of cloud travel. The Patriarch, seeing Wukong's determination, taught him the somersault cloud, a technique that allowed him to travel 10,000 miles in a single flip. After mastering this, Wukong continued to grow in power. He spent his days joyfully flying across the heavens, unbound by mortal limitations. But soon, the Patriarch realized that Wukong's immense abilities could bring trouble. He warned Wukong that he must leave, saying, "You're destined for great things, but you must be careful not to mention my name if you get into trouble. If you do, I will deny knowing you." With that, Wukong departed the temple, grateful for all he had learned. Using his newfound powers, he returned to his homeland, ready for the adventures and challenges that awaited him as the immortal Monkey King.